Alright people, welcome back to another episode of After Brunswick. You don't know, say it's a special episode because it's a steaming episode.
Day, people, you know. On the pool side, we're in the tropics, people, but these are the sacrifices we make for you guys, for all the support we've been getting, people. You don't know.
You know, usually under these circumstances, me and Lippo would have say, you know, we don't feel like talk about no ball in the sun at time, nothing today. But
AC, but
you see when some big match are play,
naturally,
we have to come and talk about it.
Naturally.
And talking about big matches, the biggest match in Europe, because this shows that Premier League are the best league in the world.
Because we said it in the last video, you know, the top four in the Prem right now, you know. In our opinion,
are the
top
best
four teams in
the
world football at this moment.
Really only Bayern alone, because PSG not catching farm, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, man, naturally.
But really only Bayern alone can compete. And when you talk about quality, top level coaching, top level players,
tactical masterclass.
The two of the best coaching minds in world football went to ahead this morning in Chelsea and Manchester City. Pep Guardiola versus Thomas Tuchel, and we all know
Tuchel been have him ticket.
Yeah, been have it, and Champions League final gone, and Pep really has been struggling against Tuchel.
Yeah.
But today, completely different story. Because you see today, Pep showed why he is not only one of the best coaches in the world right now, but one of the best coaches of all time.
True.
His tactical advancements, how he prepares for an opponent. And yes, Tuchel helped out a bit by
his adjustment.
By going to the 5-3-2 instead of the normal 3-4-3. And playing quite defensive. But I think regardless, Pep would have had it because of how he made his team press high in their 4-4-2 shape and how they were progressing the ball also.
And they just looked a different unit, people.
Yeah.
They looked inspired.
Yeah.
City haven't looked inspired
in a while. I was quite worried.
And you know, we have City still winning the league, people. You know, we're not going to change our opinions, but this is one of the reasons why we feel like they are the ones to beat. You know, they looked absolutely inspired, pressed from the front. There hasn't been a performance like that in a while.
Yeah.
And that just showed that once two brilliant minds of football go head to head, the best is gonna come out of them. And you know, hats off to Tuchel for pushing Guardiola, because you know we love the good football people, you know, and good tactical football, XG.
And you know, when you talk about the advancements that Pep made, you know, adjustments that Pep made, you can see that. Because, you know, City have been playing in a 4-4-2 shape with two false nines lately. And, you know, Gundogan was unavailable today, so Bernardo Silva had to step into midfield. And he was my man of the match. He was quite brilliant. I know a couple of seasons ago, 18-19, when City got the 99 points, when De Bruyne was injured and Bernardo had to play in central midfield. As in, he was their best player that season.
Yep.
Arguably, I think, in my opinion, the best midfielder in world football that season. And he showed why he was that good, and Pep showed how good of a coach he was by putting him in central, a winger, an inside forward, putting him in central midfield. And, you know, he was so good today. Cancelo was obviously brilliant today as well.
Naturally.
And, you know, it was just a very good performance by City. Defensively solid. They created so many chances. Stifled. I know the hallmark of Pep's teams, because people usually focus on the tiki-taka. They focus on the excellent attacking football. All of Pep's teams are excellent defensive teams.
Defensively quite sure, defensively strong.
Yes,
well organized defensively. As I said, people, it's for me, I'm a footballer myself. You know that people, for those who don't know, Bobby's a man that deal with the books and the words and the numbers. So it was just quite speechless for me. I was left speechless because that was some brilliant football. It's absolutely brilliant football. And it's just hard for me to explain, people. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just brilliant football that leaves us speechless at times. And as a man of many words, hats off to Pep Guardiola and a brilliant tactical display this morning. You know, brilliant. And
I think a coach that I haven't really had in high regard, you know, we talk about the City and the Chelsea game, but a coach that I haven't had in high tactical regard, which I need to...
Mr. Frank?
No.
Okay.
That I've really had in high tactical regard is a former Brentford coach, actually, Dean Smith.
Yeah.
I think personally, because of his demeanor, you know, him being English, you know, coming from Villa, I think the narrative around him isn't really one of some tactical genius. But I think from the clubs that have hired him and why they've hired him, he's really shown time and time again that he's very tactically adept and very versatile. From playing Chelsea when he switched to the 3 at the back, and then now he's carried on with that formation when he's been without some of his best players in Leon Bailey, Emi Buendia, who just had a substitute cameo performance today. And, against United today, they were very good, in my opinion. I think, we'll get onto United's performance in a bit, but I think Aston Villa created a lot of chances by overloading some areas of the pitch, and I think a lot of credit has to go to Dean Smith and his coaching staff into how Aston Villa are progressing. And remember, we've spoken about it in episodes past.
Because we spoke about Dean Smith prior to the start of the season, and we were saying that it's going to be a big season for him because, with the loss of Grealish, bringing in all these players, we're really going to see we could test just how good of a coach he is. And so far, if we're being honest, he's showed that he's up for the task.
Yeah, definitely.
He's pushing Villa in the right direction, and that just goes to show right now that English football is arguably the best we've seen in a very long time, from top to bottom, right throughout the league.
And I think Lippo mentioned this, that when we were talking about the best transfer windows of the season, a lot of people were throwing United's name into the hat. And what Lippo explained was that you have to fill the needs that you have to fill your squad needs. And United didn't do that all the way in terms of signing a defensive midfielder because they have no dedicated defense. Fred is a ball-winning box-to-box. McTominay is a box-to-box. Pogba,
Fashion man.
Excellent player, but he needs a dedicated defensive midfielder. You can't just, with all due respect, and he's done a good job so far, but he's taking them as so far as they can go. Ole he's not the type of man to come in. But I have no doubt in my mind, a lot of United fans want Kante as their next manager. I have no doubt in my mind. A manager like Kante would have put his arm around Fred, put his arm around McTominay, and seen that there's a lack of defensive midfielder in that United squad and molded that player into a defense. Because if you remember Chelsea, Victor Moses was a right wing back, never played right wing back a day in his life.
Yeah.
Azpilicueta went to centre back, never played that, and look how good to this day Azpilicueta is at centre back, even at his inter team for the past 2 seasons.
And what does that say, Bobby?
It's just high quality coaching.
Exactly.
It's just high quality coaching. I think Ole, I'm not going to disregard what he's done for the team because he's improved the team from where they were. But I think at a point in time, maybe I hold United in too high of a regard because I've been watching football for such a long time. I'm used to them being at a top level, but I think that they should be at the top level, and I don't think Ole is that man to bring them back to the top level. I think he's brought them to where they are now.
Reach him ceiling.
Yeah, and I think that he can. They need another manager, a top manager, to really push them on to being genuine. Cause I think they have the squad to challenge for the title, but I think they need another manager to push them up a level.
And on the flip side of that, people, good quality coaching is really down to good quality players. Because one thing I've noticed over my years of us watching football is that good players can carry out instructions to the T.
Yeah.
All of these players have been doing this year in, year out, time in, time out. So there's been a narrative that a lot of persons are saying, you can't be blaming the coach or blaming the manager for the results. But, these players, they play exactly what their coaches require of them. If a coach says play A, they play A, and that's what makes them high quality footballers. So we're seeing now, especially in this day and age of football, right now, particularly in this season, we're seeing just how important coaches and coaching is. And, Ole is under some serious pressure, people. Yeah. High expectations bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's just, as we say, it's early days yet. We don't want to be reactionary, but with the progress of the league right now, with the direction the league is going in right now, you can't afford to drop 2 points.
Yeah,
and 3 points, my apologies. Can't afford for that to happen.
At the end of the day, they still have 13 points. They're still second in the table.
You started
so you can't say he's supposed to get sacked. You can't say Ole out. And United fans are just passionate and reactionary. But at the same time, I understand, but he's not going to get sacked this season unless things really take a dire turn, which I don't think they won't because the quality of their squad is too good. But Lippo, you made a point about coaching and high quality coaching. Now we saw a battle of another two very high quality coaches.
Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank, man. I don't know. There's another clash of very good coaches because we had Klopp who faced Thomas Frank, Liverpool versus Brentford in a highly entertaining 3-3 draw. You know, that may be a surprise result to some, but you know, me and Lipo have been following Brentford for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
And they are based, Brentford, they're based on
statistics.
A highly statistical model. That's how they go about stuff. So when they buy players, any decision that they make is based on XG and other stats in order to create the highest possible or the greatest output. Yeah, the greatest output of the squad.
True.
So a lot of people may not be familiar with the business that they've done. You know, they've had and they sell players after turning them into such high quality XG goal scorers, say for instance, like Andre Gray, Ali Watkins, Mape, now Tony has Ben Rama also.
See, tell the people, everybody here on the OTB, you know.
We know
production is a sports thing, naturally.
We know today, you know, it was a very entertaining game. You know, Liverpool obviously had more chances because Salah missed a one-on-one, Mane missed a one-on-one. Yeah, Salah could have had a hat-trick actually.
Yeah, true.
Because but Brentford had their chances as well, and you know they took some of theirs, and that led to the 3-3 draw. And it was, you know, I'm very glad for Brentford. You know, it's a club. Obviously, it's one club in my heart. You know, but you could have said Brentford there, and I'm a liver, or you see peace on my belly because they're. But you don't know, it's a club with my whole near and there because you know they might come first time league since 1947 I believe, and you know they're very good fans, you know. So I'm very proud of them.
Football.
They play very
English
good
game,
football.
As I said, people, we are in the last game. I said it in terms of generational talent, but in terms of us football, we're so blessed to be in a time right now where you're just. Good football everywhere you turn, and the Premier League is just a prime example of that.
Another good game today was Leeds versus West Ham.
Very good.
You know, Leeds. Two teams. You know, Leeds, they've had a disappointing start to the season, but I'm not going to kill them because they've had a lot of injuries. And you know,
we checked their bench against. We saw their bench against Newcastle.
Yeah,
and
a lot of youngsters. You know, a lot of quality youngsters. You know, but a lot of youngsters same. But you know, West Ham, their team was progressing. Antonio, Jamaican international, got the winning goal 90th minute in a heartbreak for Leeds. But no, West Ham are a quality team. They showed that midweek as well when they beat United in the cup. I know Moyes getting the best out of them.
True.
You know, there are some other games today. You know, Everton got another win. They have started the season very well. Rafa Benitez.
Wait, but who do you captain in FPL though?
You know, I captain Demar Gray, you know, personally. I got a little return and a little assist, no bonus. But you know, speaking of FPL now, we still have our fantasy league for the cash prize of $10,000.
Yeah.
You don't know, so it's still in the description of the video. So just enter that same way, just follow all of the page and then if you tap the league, you get 10 grand, easy, not entry free, nothing. So
no chopping, no bandolo.
If you think say FPL, just join the league, is it? You compete against me and Lipo too and all of the teams. So you know, just join up. But you know, you know, Newcastle drew the Watford 1-1, but you know, that's an inconsequential game. So we can move on to the other leagues, you know.
Well,
boy,
people.
You know what? Our boy, but you attack, man, give you the spotlight.
Inevitability. The sky is blue, grass is green, Wirtz scores again.
It's fantastic.
People, Florian Wirtz. He's been absolutely brilliant. It's a deja vu. I come in on the show every single week to speak about this baller.
We have to take notice,
he's
man.
Just absolutely amazing. People, flick on the ESPN, flick on Flow Sports and watch the Bundesliga, watch Leverkusen and watch that young man play football.
The Leverkusen have a very good track record of producing very good young German players. You know, Brandt, Havertz, and then now Wirtz, as in.
It's been brilliant.
And he looks like the best of the lot.
And funnily enough, when Wirtz got his debut, Wirtz was playing as a wide man. And this just shows how good their academy system is, because right now he's playing at the 10.
Yeah.
He's playing at the 10. He's extremely creative. As Bobby said, has a lot of XG, you know, XT, a lot of threat. And what people, as I said, today I've just been very humbled to know that I'm watching such quality football. You know, Bobby has been very expressive throughout this video, and I'm just taking it in because it's just as someone who loves football and loves the sport, there are times when words can't express and really explain just how, you know, how exactly people love football. Wirtz, a gem. Look out for that young man, people.
And that's
world beater.
And that's why we do this, you know, that's why we there talk about ball, because we love ball at the end of the day.
Yeah, man.
You know, we can touch upon a couple other things like Syria. Napoli have started excellently.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. They're playing brilliantly under new coach Spalletti. You know, their team, Osimhen is really doing well. Insigne, you know, the usual suspects. And Spalletti is a coach that, you know, since his Roma days in the mid 2000s, you know, when he was an innovator himself, you know, because he was one of the fun factor there. He did false nine before Pep. He popularized it. I mean, Tati was, you know, scored 20, had close to 30 goals that season. So, you know, Spalletti is a quality coach, and although he has been getting the rubber the green lately, he's back at Napoli doing bits. Sarri is at Lazio, they're in a transition. You know, Inter playing well, still undefeated, I believe, under Inzaghi. Milan, quality team as well.
Yeah, Bobby didn't believe me, people.
No, hey, Milan are a quality team, but it's still very young team as well. I love Milan central options, you know.
Yeah.
Tonali, Kessie, Benassi, Arsenal Productions.
Yeah, naturally.
I know a lot of other players in there. Brahim Diaz progressing as well. Syria, Roma, Mourinho, he's getting the job done. Tammy Abraham, you know, he's proven a lot of people wrong by, you know, he's scoring his goals out there, playing good football. But you know, every Mourinho team has a player that's going to take the world by storm. And for me, it's definitely Lorenzo Pellegrini. Got a red card in the last game, but since moving strictly to central attacking midfield, he has been brilliant. And you know, if you haven't really been hearing about him, you need to, as Lippo said, go on ESPN, watch some Serie A. Lorenzo Pellegrini is a brilliant football player, and you're going to be hearing a lot about him coming years because he's also pretty young.
True.
You know, that's all the important. You know, Messi got his debut for PSG in the league. You know, home debut.
Yeah.
You know, quiet start. You know, nothing to really talk about. They played a pretty good game against Lyon, but you know, the French league is the French league.
No, say courage to the boss.
Not say a word.
One wipe. Dedication, people. That's what we're talking about.
You know, the French league is you know, nothing to write home about, you know, just the usual suspects. Marseille, I don't want to give too much away now, but Marseille are a very tactically adept, tactically fluid team under Jorge Sampaoli. And you know, I have a show coming, you know, extra lesson, you know, where I'll be delving into tactics and stats and all of that. So you can look forward
Bobby.
You can look forward to all of those, you know, different perspectives when those videos drop.
And people, it's not a football page alone, you know. The T20 World Cup is also coming up, you know, people.
We'll be
covering that as well.
Covering that.
You can look out for it on Ball and Grass as well. I'm going to be speaking about that as well, people. I probably will take out the button and show you 2 shots, you know.
Because, you know, we don't only play football or talk about football. Liverpool don't only play football or talk about football. But, you know, the two of us can still, you know, turn over and play a little cricket as well, you know. So, you know. But, you know,
NFL, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
NFL season has started, people. You know, Panthers are undefeated right now. They're after a very good start. You know, I'm sorry that my boy McCaffrey got a hamstring injury. But, you know, I think the player, because it's not just football, people, it's also football. But the player to look out for, in my opinion, you know, is actually Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson has really transformed himself as a QB this year. You saw that in the Chiefs game. You know, he's getting an arm, people. He's throwing them dots. And he's not just rushing the ball anymore. He's actually throwing them dots, and he's getting more patient when it comes on to being a QB. And he's scanning the field much better. He's moving his feet much better. So I think for those who watch NFL, I think Lamar Jackson, I think he's also in my fantasy as well. You know? But Lamar Jackson is one to look out for in this NFL season.
You know, a lot of young players breaking through. Could talk about Herbert. We could talk about a lot of things.
Herbert, one of them.
But you know, if you want us to talk more about NFL, just
Let
get
us
down
know.
in the comments. You
Let
know,
us
we're
know.
always there. We can talk forever because we just love sports. You know,
Naturally.
and just ball alone. But you know, we've had a lot of your time so far today. So you know, we're gonna wrap it up here. You know.
People, as always, just thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. This episode wasn't the easiest to film. As I say, Bobby's beating sweat over there, people. But as I say, it's all for the love of sports. Thank you. Continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I know the procedure. I'm out. She got the last part still. No, brother.